Okay, so you should have worked through the first 4 problems on the slides, and if you have not worked them out at this time, go ahead and pause the video, copy down those first 4 questions on page 15, and try them for yourself. Then come back to the video and check your solutions. If you've already worked them out, then keep watching the video, and you can fast forward, pause as needed. But I'm basically going to work out these 4 questions so you can check your answers in your notebook. We're going to start with number 1. Number 1 says 6x minus 10 plus 3x equals 35. So following our steps on page 14, we're going to draw our lines in front of the plus and minus signs. Next, we're going to combine our like terms, and again, remember, marking those like terms may be helpful. I typically just use underlines like this, but you can use like a circle, a box. You could use your highlighters, different colors. Then we're going to combine those 2 like terms. So we have 6x plus our 3x. 6x plus 3x, or 6 plus 3 would give us 9. 9x. This minus 10, we're not doing anything with that right now, so we're just going to bring that down, and it equals 35. Now we have our 2-step equation. We're going to solve that by getting rid of our constant first. The opposite of subtracting 10 is adding 10. Negative 10 or minus 10 plus 10 gives us 0. I'm left with, on the left-hand side, 9x. 35 plus 10 gives me 45. The last step, we need to get rid of our 9. The opposite of multiplying by 9 is dividing by 9. 45 divided by 9 gives you 5. So for number 1, you should have gotten 5 as your answer. Okay, number 2, I have copied right here. X minus 20 plus 2x equals 35. We're going to draw our lines in front of our plus and minus signs and mark our like terms. So I have this 1x here. If you want to put the 1 in, you can, or you can just leave it. Just remember that does mean there's 1x. And we have our 2x, where they're like terms. 1x plus 2x gives us 3x. We're at the step of combining our like terms. We're going to keep this minus 20, bring it down, and that equals 35. We have our 2-step equation. We need to get rid of our minus 20 by doing the inverse. The opposite of minus 20 is adding 20 to both sides. Minus 20 plus 20 gives us 0, and I'm left with 3x on the left. On the right, 35 plus 20 gives us 55. Now, I can tell already this is not going to come out to be a nice friendly number here, so you may want to use your calculator for this part. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. And we get x equals 55 divided by 3. And if you divide this out on your calculator, you're going to see this come out to be 18.3333. The 3 keeps going. So one thing you can do is write it with the repeating bar. This is a repeating decimal, so we could write 18.3 and draw the repeating bar above the 3 to show that the 3 repeats. On the directions say to round it to the nearest tenths place. So our tenths place is that first place after the decimal. The number after that is not big enough to bump it up, so this would just round to 18.3, and we're going to leave it like that. Okay, so number 3 on your worksheet, or on your, your Google slide, is 2x minus 16 plus 2x equals 28. Draw your lines in and mark your like terms. 2x and 2x are like terms. We're going to combine those. 2x plus 2x gives us 4x. Bring down our minus 16, leave it alone there, and it equals 28. The next step is to get rid of our constant by adding 16. The opposite of minus is plus, so we're going to get rid of it. And then bring down our 4x that we're left with on the left side. And on the right, we have 28 plus 16, which will give us 44. The opposite of multiplying by 4, this is 4 times x. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. Divide both sides by 4, and we get x equals 44 divided by 4 gives you 11. So 11 should be your answer for question 3. Question 4 is 3x minus 12 plus 9x equals 72. First step, we're going to draw in our lines in front of those plus and minus signs and mark our like terms. So I have 3x plus 9x, the sign in front of it goes with it. 3 plus 9 gives us 12x. This minus 12 is all by itself. We're going to bring that down, and it equals 72. Now we have our two-step equation. I'm just going to draw my line there. The opposite of subtracting 12 is to add 12 to both sides. I'm going to add 12 on the left and on the right. On the left-hand side, this minus 12 plus 12 gives me 0, which is what I want. I want it to be gone. And I'm left with 12x equals 72 plus 12 gives us 84. The opposite of multiplying by 12 here is dividing by 12. Divide both sides by 12, and we get 12 divided by 12 is 1. So I get 1x equals 84 divided by 12 gives you 7. Again, use your calculator if you need help with those calculations. Once you have your answers checked, if you missed any, make sure you go back and fix them with me. If you are ready to continue, you're going to continue 5 through 12, questions 5 through 12 on the slides. You're going to type in the answers to those problems once you have them worked out. You can put the work for 5 through 12 in your notebook on the rest of page 15 as you have room. If you can't fit anything else there, you can turn to the back of your notebook and put it in the workspace.